Hi guys, Miss Stutz here, and I wanted to go over a worksheet that you might be working on today. It's the Converting Measurements Challenge worksheet. You can see that it's got quite a lot of problems on it, and so it is supposed to be a little challenging, but I am going to go over just a few problems with you so that you feel at least hopefully a little bit more confident about completing it. And so you can see here that we are using things that are the US standard units, and we are using things with the metric system or the metric units. And so it is a mixture of everything. And so first thing I want you to do is definitely get out those documents that are in your interactive notebook. I have my conversions chart here that you have. I have the long little piece of paper that says King Henry died drinking chocolate milk for the metric system. I've got my metric unit abbreviations if you need them. I've got my US standard unit abbreviations as well. So I've got those 4 documents to kind of help me out, and I want you to use those as well if you need them. So let's go ahead and get started. So first thing I want to do is I do want to go ahead on the very top of this paper, write out all of those kind of prefixes or those abbreviations for the prefixes for the metric system, because that is something I need to know. And so I'm going to write it out. I'm going to say kilo, and I'm just going to do a K, hecto, deca, I'm going to write out because it's really close to deci. Okay, so I've got kilo, hecto, deca, then we've got our base, then we have deci, centi, and milli. All right, so I have all of my metric units up across the top, and so that's going to be really helpful for whenever I have this question here, number 2b or 3b. So that's going to be helpful for when I get to those metric questions. And so let's go ahead and get started with part 1a. So part 1a says that we have 13 quarts, and it's telling us what would that equal with gallons and quarts. And so first thing I like to do is use the conversion chart that I have, and I'm going to find quarts and gallons because those are the 2 units I'm working with here. I've got 4 quarts equal 1 gallon, and so underneath the problem I'm going to write that 4 quarts equals 1 gallon. And that's going to be really helpful to me because then I can start to make that conversion. So if 4 quarts equal 1 gallon, how many quarts does 13 make? How many gallons does the 13 quarts make? And so I'm going to take 13 divided by 4, and that would give me 4 going into 13 3 whole times, which would make it 12 quarts. But I've got 1 left over because I got 13 here from starting, and so I want to take that leftover 1 that I have, and then that's going to be a leftover quart for my answer. So for question 1a, 13 quarts equals 3 gallons and 1 quart. All right, for 1b, we have tons and pounds in the question. So I'm going to still go over to this little chart, and I'm going to see, all right, so I'm going to go down to tons and pounds. So we see that 2,000 pounds equals 1 ton. And I'm going to, again, just write that below. So 1 ton, or 1 T, equals 2,000 pounds. Okay? And so when I have questions that have 2 kind of measurements here, or like 2 that are combined, I like to break them up. So I'm going to put my 7 tons over here, and I'm going to first figure out how many pounds goes into the 7 tons. So if we know 2,000 pounds goes into 1 ton, how many goes into 7? I'm going to take my 7 times my 2,000, and that's going to give me 14,000 pounds. All you're going to do on questions like this, when it wants you to change it into just 1 unit, I'm going to take my 14,000 pounds plus my 1,800 pounds. I'm going to add those together, and then all together that's going to give me 15,800 pounds. Okay? Question 2a, same thing. It gives me feet and inches in the problem. And so I'm going to separate this. I'm going to take my feet, my 8 feet, I'm going to move it over here. And I need to figure out how many inches are in 8 feet. So we know that 1 foot equals 12 inches. So I'm going to take my 12 inches times 8 feet, and that's going to give me 96 inches. Again, just like we did on 1b, I'm going to take the 96 inches and add it with the 5 inches that's given here. And so together, then it equals 101 inches. All right, great. Let's do one more together. So you can see on 2B, it's using the metric system. We have centigrams and decagrams. If you're not sure the DAG, the DAG, then that would be a good time to use your metric abbreviations paper. And so I can see that the DAG equals a decagram. All right, and then we know that the CG equals centigram. And so up here on what we've wrote down, we are going from the one that starts with the number, which is centigram, to decagram. All right, so I'm going to write my number down below, 8,600, and I'm going to place my decimal in it, so then that way I can actually go in and move the decimal when I make my conversion. So when we have a whole number here, we've been talking about it, that decimal goes right behind the whole number. Now we're going from centigrams to decagrams, so I'm actually going 1, 2, 3 spaces to the left. And so my decimal down here is going to go 3 spaces, 1, 2, 3, and now my decimal is going to be right here. And so that would equal 8.600, or you can just write that as 8.6. All right, hopefully this helps. I've done, the 4 for you, so you've got a few others to work on. Of course, just try your best. We will definitely go over this on Monday whenever we have a chance to kind of get together, because I'll be out tomorrow. But if you have any questions, feel free to ask the sub or just try your best. And, like I said, we'll go over it whenever I get back in on Monday. All right, thank you so much, guys. Have a great day.